Hi there, welcome to Colin's Reading Aloud Project Part 135. Another 10 minutes or so. I'm doing it by time now rather than words. Okay, starting now. Intersections, intersects, intersegment, intersegmental, intersegments, intersensory, interceptal, intersert, intercertal, interserted, interserting, interserts, interservice, intercession, intercessions, intersex, intersexes, intersexual, intersexualism, intersexualisms, intersexuality, intersexually, intersidereal, intersocietal, intersociety, interspace, interspaced, interspaces, interspacing, interspatial, interspatially, interspecies, interspecific, interspersal, interspersals, intersperse, interspersed, interspersedly, intersperses, interspersing, interspersion, interspersions, interspinal, interspinous, interstadial, interstadials, interstage, interstate, interstates, interstation, interstellar, interstellary, intersterile, intersterility, interstices, interstice, interstice, interstices, interstimulus, interstitial, interstitially, interstitials, interstrain, interstrand, interstratified, interstratifies, interstratify, intersubjective, intersystem, intertangle, intertangled, intertanglement, intertangles, intertangling, intertarsal, intertentacular, interterm, interterminal, interterms, intertext, intertexts, intertextual, intertextuality, intertextually, intertexture, intertextures, intertidal, intertidally, intertie, interties, intertill, intertillage, intertillages, intertilled, intertilling, intertills, interissued, intertraffic, intertissued, intertraffic, intertraffics, intertrial, intertribal, intertrigo, intertrigos, intertroop, intertropical, intertwine, intertwined, intertwinement, intertwinements, intertwines, intertwining, intertwiningly, intertwinings, intertwist, intertwisted, intertwisting, intertwistingly, intertwists, interunion, interunions, interunit, interuniversity, interurban, interval, interval, intervale, intervales, intervalley, intervallic, intervallum, intervallums, intervalometer, intervalometers, intervals, intervarsity, intervene, intervened, intervening, intervenes, intervene, intervened, intervener, interveners, intervenes, intervenient, intervening, intervenor, intervenors, intervention, interventional, interventionism, interventionist, interventions, interventor, interventors, intervertebral, interview, interviewed, interviewee, interviewees, interviewer, interviewers, interviewing, interviews, intervillage, intervisibility, intervisible, intervisitation, intervital, intervocalic, intervolve, intervolved, intervolves, intervolving, interwar, interweave, interweaved, interweavement, interweavements, interweaver, interweavers, interweaves, interweaving, interweb, interwebs, interwined, interwinding, interwines, interwork, interworked, interworking, interworkings, interworks, interwound, interwove, interwoven, interwreathe, interwreathed, interwreaths, interwreathing, interwrought, interzonal, interzones, interzone, interzone, interzones, intestices, intestacy, intestate, intestates, intestinal, intestinally, intestine, intestines, enthrall, enthrall, enthralled, enthralling, enthralls, enthralls, enthrone, enthroned, enthrones, enthroning, intifada, intifada, intifadas, intifadas, intifadae, intifades, intil, intima, intimacies, intimacy, intimi, intimal, intimas, intimate, intimated, intimately, intimateness, intimatenesses, intimator, intimators, intimate, intimates, intimating, intimation, intimations, in time, intimidate, intimidated, intimidates, intimidating, intimidatingly, intimidation, intimidations, intimidator, intimidators, intimidatory, intimism, intimisms, intimist, intimist, intimists, intimists, intimities, intimity, intinction, intinctions, intine, intines, entire, inties, entitle, entitled, entitles, entitling, intitule, intituled, intitules, intituling, into, intoed, intolerability, intolerable, intolerableness, intolerably, intolerance, intolerances, intolerant, intolerantly, intolerantness, intolerance, intoleration, intolerations, entomb, entombed, entombing, entombs, intonarco, intonarcos, intonate, intonated, intonates, intonating, intonation, intonational, intonations, intonator, intonators, intone, intoned, intoner, intoners, intones, intoning, intoningly, intonings, intortion, intortions, intort, intorted, intorting, intortion, intortions, intorts, in town, intoxicable, intoxicant, intoxicants, intoxicate, intoxicated, intoxicatedly, intoxicates, intoxicating, intoxicatingly, intoxication, intoxications, intoxicative, intoxicator, intoxicators, intoximeter, intoximeters, intracapsular, intracardiac, intracardial, intracardially, intracavitary, intracellular, intracellularly, intracerebral, intracerebrally, intracity, intracompany, intracranial, intracranially, intractability, intractable, intractableness, intractably, intracutaneous, intrada, intradas, intraday, intradermal, intradermally, intradermic, intradermically, intrados, intradoses, intrafallopian, intrafascicular, intrafascicular, intragalactic, intragenic, intramedullary, intramercurial, intramolecular, intramundane, intramural, intramurally, intramurals, intramuscular, intramuscularly, intranasal, intranasally, intranational, intranet, intranets, intransigence, intransigences, intransigent, intransigently, intransigence, intransigence, intransigencies, 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 intransigency, intransigent, intransigentism, intransigentist, intransigently, intransigence, intransitive, intransitively, intransitivity, intransmissible, intransmutable, intrants, intranuclear, intraocular, intraocularly, intraparietal, intrapartum, intraperitoneal, intrapersonal, intrapetiolar, intraplate, intrapopulation, intrapreneur, intrapreneurial, intrapreneurs, intrapsychic, intrasexual, intraspecies, intraspecific, intrastate, intratelluric, intrathecal, intrathecally, intrathoracic, intrauterine, intravasation, intravassations, intravascular, intravascularly, intravenous, intravenously, intravital, intravitally, intravitum, intrazonal, entreat, entreated, entreatful, entreating, entreatingly, entreatment, entreatments, entreats, entrench, entrenchant, entrenched, entrencher, entrenchers, entrenches, entrenching, entrenchment, entrenchments, intrepid, intrepidities, intrepidity, intrepidly, intrepidness, intrepidnesses, intricacies, intricacy, intricate, intricately, intricateness, intricatenesses, intrigant, intrigant, intrigants, intrigants, intriguant, intriguant, intriguants, intriguants, intrigue, intrigued, intriguer, intriguers, intrigues, intriguing, intriguingly, intrinse, intrinsic, intrinsical, intrinsicality, intrinsically, intrinsicalness, intrinsicate, intro, introduce, introduced, introducer, introducers, introduces, introducible, introducing, introduction, introductions, introductive, introductorily, introductory, introfied, introfies, introfy, introfying, introgressant, introgressants, introgression, introgressions, introgressive, introit, introital, introits, introitus, introituses, introject, introjected, introjecting, introjection, introjections, introjective, introjects, introlled, intromissible, intromission, intromissions, intromissive, intromit, intromits, intromitted, intromittent, intromitter, intromitters, intromitting, intron, intronic, introns, intros, introrsely, intros, and that's where I'll stop, and I'll do another 10 minutes tomorrow.